This is the Behind the Line podcast, and this is Pacific Northwest headline news in 3 minutes for Friday, April 15th, 2022. Well, the crime spree continues in Seattle, and this story about sums up the cluster that Seattle is. Seattle police are investigating after one person was stabbed and shots were fired in a homeless encampment in the Chinatown International District on Monday. Police responded to an encampment near 13th Avenue South and South Lane Street around 10 a.m. for multiple reports of a man shooting a rifle. When they arrived, they didn't see the shooter, but they found a man with stab wounds to the arm and torso who was taken to Harborview in serious condition. Police discovered that a woman who lives in the encampment was having a disagreement with another man and woman living in the encampment. She then allegedly stabbed that man. After the stabbing, the man got the gun, started firing, but didn't hit anybody. The woman who was with the stabbing victim would not allow police to search her tent for weapons when they arrived. When officers tried to arrest her for obstruction, she allegedly hit an officer in the leg and scratched another, drawing blood on both. She was arrested for third-degree assault. As police were searching the encampment for weapons and evidence in the shooting and stabbing, patrol car video showed the same man who fired the gun steal a medical kit that was placed near a patrol car. The kit contained hundreds of dollars worth of medical supplies and police equipment. Officers were unable to locate that person. They are continuing with their investigation. Yes, just some of Seattle's most vulnerable living the good life. And speaking of the good life, the Seattle Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce just released a new poll where they asked people how they felt about the city. And 2 out of 3 Seattle voters in this poll are considering moving out of the city. Public safety and homelessness are among the top concerns. When do you suppose the city council and the mayor are going to listen to this stuff? And you can thank the Washington State Democratic Legislature for the free-for-all when it comes to vehicle thefts in Washington State. We're now on pace to surpass 50,000 vehicle thefts in 2022, which will be an increase of 50%. Stats say 2022 has seen an 88% increase compared to 2021 through the end of March, with March 2022 having a 99% increase from last year. Way to go, Democrats. And the other day I told you about the Oregon judge who's facing child pornography cases. Now we have a prominent Oregon civil attorney who was sentenced Tuesday to probation more than 2 years after he was charged with strangling and assaulting a woman in what authorities said were acts of domestic violence. Christopher R. Best of Wilsonville pleaded guilty in 2 counts of harassment in Clackamas County Circuit Court and received 3 years of probation. We requested 45 days in jail, but the judge allowed him to serve that on electronic home supervision using an ankle monitor, said Clackamas County Chief Deputy District Attorney Chris Owen. Best, 39, will also be required to complete a substance abuse treatment program. So he's on drugs, too. All other charges, including multiple counts of strangulation, 4th-degree assault, and menacing, were dismissed as part of the plea deal. Well, it just proves that if you're in the right crowd and have the right amount of money, you can buy your way out of incarceration in this country. And the Los Angeles Times posted a story complaining about police officers firing bullets and less lethal rounds at the same time and killing people. In the article it says, in all 8 shootings identified by the Times, the suspect was armed with a knife, blade, or blunt object, never a firearm, making them part of a broader increase in LAPD shootings of people without guns. Is a knife, blade, or blunt object not a deadly weapon? What idiot wrote this article? The trend has raised alarms within the LAPD, and top commanders have promised to revisit training to better teach officers to slow down and let tasers and projectiles take effect, if possible, before firing live rounds. Yes, if possible. And tasers are extremely ineffective much of the time. Yeah, well, at least they have non-lethal rounds they can use in California. Seattle City Council took that away from SPD. You know, unless you want to die, you just shouldn't run at a police officer with a weapon. It's pretty simple. The only person really to blame at the end of the day is the person who didn't comply. Even if you don't agree with the officer, you need to comply. You can get a lawyer and sue them later if there's a problem. And I'm not saying that every time is justified, but come on. This has been Pacific Northwest Headline News in 3 minutes. For more, visit BehindTheLinePodcast.com. I hope you all have a good Easter weekend and are able to spend it with your friends or family. See you Monday.